Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for sparing your own time out to listen to my thoughts on Screamboat, which I did check out last night at a cinema that is a little bit further away from where I live to see this on the big screen. Directed by Steven LaMorte, who previously did The Mean One, and you've got David Howard Thornton in the title role, who is playing the Steamboat Willie. This tells a story about a group of strangers who take the Staten Island ferry. This boat is basically going nowhere with on board a killer mouse, and it's up to them to try survive the night. Kind of thinking throughout my viewing experience, it definitely gave me a lot of vibes of Jason Takes Manhattan. I grew up as a teenager watching that movie, so throughout I was really just appreciating the nostalgia and the homage it was paying. This movie ultimately is fun. There's a lot of moments where it embraces what it is, it knows exactly what it's going for, and it knows exactly what it is. In that aspect, I really appreciate its Screamboat, because one of my biggest issues has been with public domain IPs is they don't know how to have fun. Sometimes they take them way too seriously, or sometimes they take it way too goofy in terms of being like way over the top, where it doesn't actually have that fun element for the audience. Whereas Screamboat, I feel like as if for most part it knows exactly what it wanted to do, and it also pretty much accomplishes that. So, you know, credit to the team and the writing department in terms of delivering just a fun experience, because it's been a while since I've seen just a fun movie on the big screen, or even at home for that matter. David Howard Thornton as Steamboat Willie, of course, is the standout character. He is terrific here. He's able to bring also an identity to the mouse, different to what we've seen in The Mean One, and of course famously Art the Clown. And this guy just continues to impress and deliver with every project that he's given. Honestly, one of the most incredible talents we've probably got in the movie industry today, and I just really can't wait to see what he does next. Also starring here, you've got Jesse Kove, who you may know from Cobra Kai, and I have interviewed him on the channel, and David Howard Thornton for that matter. And Jesse Kove, for the small part that he's given, he does pretty well. It was nice to see him again on the big screen, and I also think he is a talented actor who's got big things ahead of him. Now, how are the rest of the cast? Okay, so the rest of the cast, like Amy Schmacher, you've got Allison Pittel, and you've got Tyler Posey, you've got Jesse Posey. I think everyone knows what kind of movie they're in, so because of that, you've got kind of like B-rate acting. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and that's not to take away anything from the actors or actresses, because they knew what movie they were in. They sometimes are just be told, like, right, act way over the top, and a lot of them are acting way over the top. There is moments where they deliver some good line delivery, and there's also sometimes that they have some really cheesy bad dialogue moments, so it's kind of comment on the acting. Is pretty tough to do that, but I think for most part everyone just does what they're supposed to really do. In terms of the practical effects, because it's from the producer team of Terrifier 2, the practical effects are really, really good, and the kills are pretty gruesome and gory. They're none like way over the top to the point like Terrifier, like it's creepy, you're like, oh no, you know, you kind of biting your teeth. It's not that kind of level of violence, but there is some really gory stuff, especially one scene towards the end of the second going into the third act. I would say it was pretty nasty to that extent, but this is once again just a fun time. Now, however, with all of that said, I've got to lean into the negatives. There is plenty of scenes where a little bit of a slight touch on spoiler here, where you can clearly tell that a Steamboat Willie is, you know, tiny, like a mouse size. But then there's times where you actually see him kind of like a human size, right? Now, the scenes where he is miniature, they use some puppetry work for some parts, and the puppetry work is actually done pretty well. I actually like some of the work that they encompassed in those scenes, and I think it fit the tone really well. But there's times where you can clearly tell they've shot David Howard Thornton, and they've maybe shrunk down the scale of the model of him, right? They've obviously shrunk him down to be smaller. So some of those moments where you can see he's like CG'd, green screened in, some of them don't really fit as well. They're really, really goofy. So it really depends on your take and if you can accept really stupid and goofy, or you're just like, nah, that's not going to work for me, because there's times I think it's like edited in quite well, and then I think there's sometimes it does look clearly rough. You can clearly tell David Howard Thornton was stood in front of a green screen to film that said segment, so some of the effects aren't the best, especially towards the third act. It kind of felt to an extent that the budget was starting to run out, because there's some CG moments with fire and blood, and I was just like, we've done pretty well for most part with practical effects. Why are we kind of skimping here? But besides kind of the cheesy effects, which, you know, you can kind of forgive to an extent with what kind of movie this is, I think my biggest negative is the runtime. And I say that because this is only an hour and 40 minutes. So in actuality, that isn't a long runtime if you really think about it. But with the pacing, I felt like the first 45 minutes to an hour was pretty good. It was kind of smooth sailing, no pun intended. And it had me gripped and on board, and I was like, right, okay, I'm on board completely for this stupid goofiness time. But as the runtime starts to stretch, it just felt like they were trying to do too much in here, and it could have generally benefited from being 10-15 minutes shorter, because by the end I was like, right, we're going to start wrapping up here. I did check my watch about the hour mark, and I was like, right, okay, like, how much more have we got to go? Like, what else is generally going to happen here? And I feel as if there's kind of like one or two scenes towards that second, like, middle of the second act going into the third act, where there's some cool kills, but they kind of felt like deleted scenes kind of kills that could have been thrown in a little bit later. Worst case, maybe make this like an extended cut when it gets like a physical release. So not overall, like, not too many bad negatives, but some of that does outweigh the positives I mentioned. So I would probably say like this one, I'm kind of down the middle on it. So I'd say I'm about a 2.5 out of 5 stars. But have you seen Screamboat? Are you going to check it out? Let me know down below in the comment section so we can continue the discussion down there. Also, I do have a Patreon, which is only £2 per month, so you can join today. The link for that is down below in the description box. Now, in the meantime, if you haven't seen these other horror movie reviews of mine, well, click over here, have a bit of a deep dive. Till the next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.